Power. Everyone says they want it. Everyone dreams of being untouchable, respected, feared, obeyed. But the truth is, very few are built to handle it. Because real power isn't about control over others, it's about control over yourself. It's not about dominance through strength, but through silence, patience, and the art of seeing 10 moves ahead, while the rest of the world can barely see one. Most people want power because they crave validation. They want to feel important. They want people to look at them and say, "You matter." But the moment you need that, you're already weak. True power is born when you no longer need to prove anything. When you can walk into a room and not demand respect because it's already felt in your presence. Machiavelli understood this long before anyone else dared to speak it. He saw the world not as it should be, but as it truly is. A place driven by fear, greed, ambition, and self-preservation. And he realized, to survive in such a world, you cannot play fair. Fairness is a concept for the powerless. The strong understand manipulation, perception, and timing. They know when to move and when to disappear. They use kindness as a weapon and silence as their sharpest blade. You are not ready for this kind of power because it demands you to kill parts of yourself that you've been taught to protect. It asks you to let go of your need to be liked, your hunger for approval, your fear of being misunderstood. The path of power is lonely, not because others won't walk with you, but because they can't. They'll never understand your silence, your calculation, your ability to appear emotionless when the world burns around you. But that's the price. And if you can't pay it, you'll always remain a pawn in someone else's game. The greatest minds in history, the emperors, the strategists, the conquerors, they all shared one thing: detachment. They mastered the art of appearing compassionate while their hearts were made of iron. They could pretend to care while secretly building their empire. They could be betrayed and still smile at the traitor across the table. Because they understood a rule few dare to live by: never let emotions guide your judgment. Emotion is the enemy of power. It blinds you, exposes you, makes you predictable. You want to rise? Then learn to see through emotion. Study people. Watch their movements, their words, their tone. Understand what drives them: fear, pride, insecurity, greed, and use it, not out of cruelty, but out of strategy. Power is not about hurting others. It's about positioning yourself so no one can hurt you. It's about creating an image so unshakable that even your enemies hesitate before speaking your name. But this level of control takes time. You can't rush mastery. You must learn to live in patience, to hold your fire when every cell in your body wants to strike. The impatient destroy themselves. The strategic dominate. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is no move at all. Silence can break a man faster than war ever could. To be Machiavellian is to understand that people are not moved by logic. They are moved by perception. Appear strong, even when you are weak. Appear compassionate, even when you are calculating. Appear loyal until it serves you to disappear. The world doesn't reward truth. It rewards presentation. And once you understand that, you stop playing by their rules. You write your own. Every person around you is fighting for something: recognition, love, dominance, validation. They chase power like moths chase light. But the one who stands still, who watches, who listens, he becomes the center of gravity. When you no longer chase, everything begins to orbit around you. That's what real power looks like. It's quiet, invisible, and absolute. Machiavelli taught that fear is stronger than love, because love is conditional, but fear is reliable. People will betray love, but they rarely betray fear.
Power has never been kind. It doesn't bow to morality, it bends it. Those who rise to the top don't just play the game, they rewrite the rules. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be." And behind every genius who outsmarted the world lies a shadow, a calculated coldness that others could never see coming. To understand the art of power, you must be willing to walk through that shadow. You must understand how the powerful manipulate perception, control emotion, and twist reality until it bends in their favor. The first truth about power is that people believe what they want to believe. The powerful understand that perception is more real than truth itself. They create illusions so beautiful, so convincing, that no one ever bothers to see what lies behind them. They don't argue to prove they're right, they simply control what others see and feel. Influence is not about facts, it's about emotion. The one who controls emotion controls the room. Watch how the intelligent never reveal the full picture. They move like fog, visible enough to be seen, but never clear enough to be understood. They speak with intention, they pause with purpose, and they let mystery do half their work. People chase what they cannot define, and mystery makes you magnetic. The genius hides behind subtlety because clarity invites attack. When people can't predict you, they can't prepare for you. Every master manipulator knows that kindness is a weapon when used strategically. It's not about being good, it's about being useful. Charm lowers defenses faster than intimidation ever could. The truly dangerous people smile the most. They give compliments, they show empathy, they listen deeply, but only to collect data. They learn your needs, your insecurities, your fears, and then they use them not cruelly but efficiently. The most ruthless minds never shout, they whisper, they plant ideas, and they make you believe it was your own thought all along. Machiavelli taught that loyalty built on fear lasts longer than loyalty built on love. The intelligent know that emotions fade but control remains. They never beg for respect. They create conditions where others have no choice but to give it. They reward obedience and punish disobedience quietly. You'll never see them explode. They simply remove opportunities, withhold attention, and make others feel invisible. That's the slow poison of power. Control doesn't always come from strength. It often comes from patience. The weak react, the strong observe. The genius waits, studies patterns, and strikes only when the timing cannot fail. They don't chase results. They engineer inevitability. They don't fight battles. They make others fight among themselves. The powerful don't argue. They orchestrate. Every conflict becomes a tool to divide, distract, or destroy competition. The secret to dominance isn't aggression, it's unpredictability. Predictable people are easy to defeat because they live by routine emotions. The Machiavellian mind breaks patterns. One moment warm, the next distant. One moment cooperative, the next indifferent. They create psychological tension so others constantly seek their approval. Uncertainty is control. When people don't know where they stand with you, they're more eager to please you. Powerful minds also understand the art of disappearance. They know when to vanish to make others realize how much they depended on their presence. Silence can be more terrifying than words. Distance creates demand. When you're always available, you're ordinary. When you retreat, you become legend. They withdraw strategically, knowing that absence sharpens attention. The world values what it can't easily access. The darkest power doesn't conquer people, it conquers attention. Attention is the new currency of influence. The one who can hold it, shape it, and redirect it becomes untouchable. That's why true manipulators don't seek validation. They manufacture it. They control narratives. They turn criticism into curiosity. They understand that in a noisy world, controversy is power. To be loved or hated doesn't matter, only to be remembered. Every great strategist hides ruthlessness beneath calm. The powerful don't show emotion when insulted. They observe who's watching. They understand that every reaction reveals a weakness. Anger gives the enemy a map of your mind, so they stay composed, because calmness is a shield that makes others nervous. When everyone else loses control, the one who stays silent becomes the center of gravity. Another Machiavellian law of power is to never outshine the master, at least not too soon. Intelligent people let others believe they are superior while slowly becoming indispensable. They make the master rely on them, trust them, need them. And when that dependence is complete, power silently shifts. They don't take the throne, they make the throne come to them. The powerful manipulate gratitude. They understand that people are most vulnerable when they feel indebted. Every favor, every kindness, every act of generosity is a threat of control. The genius never helps for free. They invest. And when the time comes, they pull those threads gently, reminding others of the debt they owe. The debt might be invisible, but the obedience it produces is real. They also know that to rise, you must sometimes become invisible. The greatest victories often come through proxies, others who take the risk while you take the reward. They never place themselves directly in danger. They maneuver from the shadows, allowing others to absorb the blows. Oh. They create alliances not out of trust, but out of calculated benefit. When those alliances end, they vanish without emotion. Loyalty for them is just a temporary contract. To outsmart everyone, you must be both mirror and mask. A mirror reflects people's desires, making them feel seen. A mask hides your own intentions. The powerful know that people reveal themselves to those who listen. They use that information to shape perception, to predict behavior, to control outcomes before they even happen. The more you understand human nature, the less you believe in its goodness. The Machiavellian genius accepts one harsh truth. Morality is a luxury of the powerless. The powerful cannot afford guilt, hesitation, or pity. They understand that domination requires detachment. Emotion clouds strategy. To control others, you must first master yourself, your impulses, your reactions, your attachments. Detachment doesn't mean coldness, it means clarity. It means seeing people as they are, not as you wish them to be. And yet, beneath all this darkness, there's beauty. Because power, in its purest form, is creation. It is the art of bending chaos into order. Those who understand these laws are not necessarily evil. They are simply awake. They see the world as it truly is. A battlefield of perception, manipulation, and survival. To outsmart everyone, you must think several moves ahead. You must become unreadable, untouchable, unreactive. You must learn to speak softly while pulling the strings. To rise above, you must understand that people are motivated not by logic, but by desire, fear, and ego. Feed these and you rule them. Deny these and they turn on you. Machiavelli never preached cruelty, he preached realism. He saw that in every system of power, those who hesitate are devoured. The dark laws of power aren't about being heartless, they're about being precise. You don't destroy enemies by fighting them. You destroy them by making them irrelevant. You don't win by shouting, you win by making others believe they chose your way themselves. Every genius who ever ruled, from emperors to modern leaders, understood this. People crave safety more than truth. Promise safety, control fear, and you'll control minds. That is the silent architecture of domination. As you rise, you'll learn to mask ambition behind humility, intelligence behind simplicity, and manipulation behind kindness. Let others underestimate you. It's the greatest advantage of all. The more harmless you appear, the less they guard against you. By the time they realize your power, it's already too late. Power isn't about destruction, it's about control. It's about shaping destiny with precision so sharp it feels like fate. The dark laws aren't meant to make you cruel, they're meant to make you unbreakable. Because when you understand manipulation, you can't be manipulated. When you understand control, you stop being controlled. Machiavelli's wisdom is not a call to evil, it's a guide to mastery. The world will always have predators and prey, but the one who learns the game doesn't have to become either. They stand above it, watching, calculating, and directing outcomes like an invisible hand. That is what it means to truly outsmart everyone. So remember, the real power lies not in how loud you are, but in how silent you can be while making others dance to your rhythm. The one who understands human nature doesn't fight the current, they become the current. Learn the dark side of influence not to harm, but to protect yourself from those who already use it. Because in a world built on manipulation, awareness is the ultimate form of power. Power is not a single moment of dominance. It's a long game of control, patience, and invisibility. The true masters of manipulation do not reveal their ambition. They move slowly, strategically, allowing others to believe they are in charge. This illusion gives them freedom to operate while everyone else is blinded by ego. The most dangerous kind of genius is not the one who commands, but the one who makes others command for him. Machiavelli understood that most people are slaves to their own emotions. They are desperate to be seen, desperate to be right, desperate to be loved, and that desperation makes them predictable. The powerful exploit this predictability. They know when to flatter, when to withdraw, when to give hope, and when to crush it. On to dome. They make others dance between reward and rejection until control becomes invisible. To outsmart everyone, you must master silence. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to reveal more than they intend. When you speak less, every word becomes heavy. Every pause becomes power. The wise use silence as a mirror, letting others expose their motives, their fears, their desires. The less you say, the more others fill in the blanks with their imagination. And imagination is the most powerful form of manipulation because people always believe their own thoughts more than your words. The Machiavellian mind never argues. It observes. When others try to prove themselves right, the powerful simply study their weaknesses. Every argument exposes what the other values most, and every emotional outburst reveals what they fear losing. To dominate, you don't need to fight, you just need to understand. Knowledge silently bends power in your favor. Remember this. Emotions are weapons. Oh, the powerful don't feel less, they simply know when and where to express emotion for maximum effect. Anger is a tool to intimidate, sadness to attract sympathy, charm to disarm, indifference to unsettle. They don't suppress emotion, they deploy it. Like a general commanding an army, they know when to attack and when to retreat. Every smile, every sigh, every silence is calculated to create an impact. Another dark truth is that empathy, when used strategically, can be more dangerous than aggression. By understanding people deeply, you gain access to their internal world. You know what they crave, what they hide, what they hate. You can guide their behavior not by force, but by suggestion. Influence built on understanding lasts longer than control built on fear. The genius uses empathy as a key, unlocking doors that brute strength could never open. Power is not only about control over others, it's about control over yourself. The truly powerful do not react impulsively. They do not seek revenge out of emotion. They strike when it benefits them, not when they're angry. They know that time itself is a weapon, and waiting is not weakness, it's strategy. The longer you wait, the more you see. The more you see, the better you strike. Every impulsive person is a puppet of their own emotions. The patient mind, however, rules them all. The dangerous genius never seeks permission. They understand that society rewards conformity and punishes dominance, but secretly admires those who rise above the rules. They act boldly, but quietly. They move with confidence as if the world is theirs and people begin to believe it. Confidence creates its own gravity. When you move like you belong at the top, others unconsciously clear the path for you. Machiavelli also taught that appearance is everything. The powerful are actors performing a role. They control how others perceive them. They may wear humility as a disguise or arrogance as armor. They project whatever image suits the situation because they know the world doesn't see reality, it sees narrative. And whoever controls the narrative controls perception. The mask you wear becomes your weapon. In the darkest corners of power, betrayal is inevitable. The genius expects it. They prepare for it. They never trust completely because trust makes you vulnerable. They use loyalty as a temporary currency, not a lifelong contract. The moment you stop reacting to the world and start directing it, you've crossed into the realm of real power. Power, when understood deeply, becomes less about domination and more about orchestration. They plant ideas and watch as others water them willingly. That's how entire empires have been ruled without ever raising a sword. Machiavelli once said, Men are so simple and so obedient to present necessities that he who deceives will always find someone who will let himself be deceived. Calmness unnerves the emotional, disarms the aggressive, and seduces the uncertain. It signals control, the quiet authority that cannot be provoked or shaken. Calmness is the shield that makes manipulation effortless. It makes others question themselves instead of questioning you. The world belongs to those who can change shape, who can be cold without cruelty, kind without naivety, silent without weakness. Power is fluid, not fixed. The one who can shift between faces without losing themselves becomes unstoppable. When you can experience emotion without becoming it, you've already ascended beyond most of humanity. The genius studies loss like an artist studies shadow. They learn from every failure, every betrayal, every rejection. While others drown in pain, they dissect it.